A lot of artists are starting out without realizing they're stepping into a system with rules, kind of like a game. You might have seen this type of graph in certain video games. It usually represents the stats of a character you're leveling, and this isn't too different from how art skills can be categorized among artists. In this video, I'm going to break down those mechanics using game terms, not to tell you what to do, but to show you how the system actually works. Specifically, why artists can work just as hard and still end up with completely different strengths, paths, and outcomes due to how effort gets allocated inside a system. Here's the formula for art improvement for any given artist focus. Art improvement in any given art domain equals consistency times time. In the video game world, this is obvious. A player grinding and farming experience repeatedly will eventually level up, given enough time spent playing. This basic idea translates similarly to leveling up real-life art skills. However, a mistake a lot of artists miss is misidentifying the category or domain of art they're actually trying to improve in. Let's define these variables using game terms. Art improvement is your specific focus in art. This is essentially your focus or goal. This can be character design, illustration, environment design, or virtually any art skill you want to improve. Consistency is your ability to grind, or repeat a series of actions that actually enable growth. Time is the multiplier that compounds your hard work into skill. You can also think of time as how we allocate our skill points. Time is limited, and we can only put a finite amount of it into any given skill we decide to focus on. And so we should be very precise in how we allocate these points if we want to see compounding results. Like a video game, you're constantly leveling up your art skills every time you draw, gaining experience. But unlike video games, it's much harder to identify in real life what stats you're actually grinding when you sit down to study. For example, if your goal is to be a better character designer, the skill points you allocate should mainly go towards the act of designing. It's easy to conflate designing with painting, anatomy, rendering, or gesture drawing, because those skills are all adjacent to design. And I'm not saying those skills aren't useful. They're all important for a good final image. What I'm saying is that as an artist, we need to be deliberate with our goals and how those goals translate into practice. If your goal is anatomy, then the actions you repeat should directly train anatomy. That means focusing on construction, muscle placement, and understanding the body as three-dimensional form, while placing less priority on things that don't align as closely, like environment design, rendering, or color theory. This doesn't mean you stop those studies entirely, or that they aren't valuable. It simply means isolating one or two skills tends to produce much faster results than spreading yourself thin across many. There's also a secondary reason this approach works. It lets you experience growth sooner, which compounds motivation. When a behavior is reinforced with visible rewards, you're more likely to repeat it. When rewards take a long time to show up, motivation fades. A good analogy is the first time you leveled up in a video game. Early on, a single enemy might trigger a level up, and that feedback is immediate. Later in the game, that same reward might take thousands of repetitions. As the time between effort and reward grows, motivation tends to drop. What we're trying to do is shorten that gap by removing unnecessary friction. Luckily, real life doesn't work exactly like video games. Games are simplified systems, and real skill growth isn't artificially capped by developer rules. While learning plateaus do exist, they're influenced by factors like how you're studying, not arbitrary limits. If we can identify the variables that create friction in art progression, those plateaus and blocks become much easier to overcome. Most of the time, the problem with leveling isn't that you're not grinding hard enough. It's that it's hard to tell what your work is actually training. Once you're able to identify how you're studying, progress stops feeling random and often starts compounding. I'm Nozuki, and thanks for watching.